Okay, in mechanical commissioning, the sheet after the array checks, if you click on the button up here at the top, shows you conduit and roof penetration. We're bringing up that sheet, and we're going to go through that now. So let's take a look. I'm going to teleport to conduit span on the roof to take a look. And the first thing that you can notice is you can look around. The idea is that you're trying to check to see if any individual EMT conduit span is supported at 10 feet or less. Can't be supported beyond 10 feet. In this particular case, the numbering shows up as 12 feet. So the thing you have to know about EMT conduit is that it needs to be supported at least every 10 feet. In this case, there's an error. It was supported at 12 feet instead. So under my choices, I can say span equal or less than 10 or span greater than 10. And in this case, it's greater than 10, and that needs to be corrected. The way you'd correct it is you just install a new support in the middle to give your supporting what you need. How about conduit spans on the walls? Let's go teleport to that, and we can take a look. And there again, if I zoom in a little bit, you can actually see there's one of my supports right there. There's my single hole clamp that's been put in place, and if I go down further, there's the other single hole clamp that's in place. But the measurement shows that it's 12 feet apart. It can only be 10 feet or less. So in this case, again, that's incorrect. I would look here and I would say span equal less than 10. Nope, span greater than 10. And the way you do that again is you put in another support somewhere in between so that your span length is less than 10. How about conduit supports at enclosures? If we teleport to that, the idea is that we need a support within any enclosure or body, any conduit body. And the rule there is it has to be within 3 feet of any enclosure or conduit body. In this particular case, hey, the measurement that we're shown shows there's my single hole strap that's been installed to hold the conduit, but it's more than 3 feet. So that's incorrect. It's got to be moved in and put in here closer to 3 feet to this conduit body. So for my choice here, is it supported within 3 feet? No. Supported further than 3 feet. Going to have to be corrected. How about conduit fittings are secure? If I teleport to that, I'm given a close-up view here, and if I roll over the object, it highlights what I can touch. So let me just click on it to touch it and see if it's secure. Whoa, okay, you see that? If I touch it, it moves. It's not secure. What I want to do is open up the enclosure cover and retighten this with a couple of channel locks. But in this case, I have to report that it's not secure with no movement. There's at least 1/8 of an inch of movement. That's no good. It's got to be tightened. How about conduit connector fittings? Are they outdoor rated? Let's teleport to that location. We're taking a look here, and the idea is that you want to look and see the kind of fitting or ring here. If it's outdoor rated, that's going to be a elastomeric or a rubbery kind of washer that we're going to see here. But in this case, this is metal. This looks like shiny metal. So somebody just put in a metal washer instead of the elastomeric plastic kind of thing that you need for outdoor rated connections. That's incorrect in this case. So if I look at my choices here, I've got sealed with elastomeric washer, or a metal washer, or maybe no washer at all. You might have those scenarios pop up. In this case, we have a metal washer. You've got to report that. And then finally, I want to look at my roof penetration. So let's teleport up there. In this case, we're looking at my penetration through the roof. And lo and behold, hey, what's going on? Dudes, you left off the flashing. So I've seen this. I've actually seen this done where people drill through the roof, just put the conduit through, put a bunch of goop in there, and don't even put in a flashing. Well, you're not going to do that, but in this case, in commissioning your system, we're saying that, hey, somebody forgot to put in the flashing. So the choices here for roof penetration, we're looking at choices of, is it properly installed? Is there no flashing present, which is the case here? Or maybe you've put a flashing, but you put it on top of the shingles instead of slipping it slightly underneath like it should be. Or maybe the conduit wasn't, or the flashing wasn't cut in to the shingle above it properly. Maybe that's the way it was done incorrectly. But in this case, we got no flashing present. I'm going to choose that. Whoops, and back here under my bearings, oh, ground bushings. I skipped that. So let's go back. Let's teleport up here to look at ground bushings. So there. Now, I'm taking a look here to see if I've got proper ground bushing. So I'm going to click on the cover of my enclosure here, and it opens up the cover. And what we notice, whoa, okay, what's going on? Over here, I've got a proper grounding bushing installed. There's my stripped ground wire going through my ground bushing. That's okay. But over here, totally left off. The ground wire is passing through. It's not being grounded, and there's not even a ground bushing. So that's totally incorrect. So what I've got to do is report that I've either got no ground bushing, which is my case, or a ground wire that's not secured in its lug, maybe that's a case, or the ground wire wasn't even stripped. These might be scenarios that you might run into when you do this simulation. But in this case, we got no ground bushing, and I'm going to report that. So that's how we go through conduit and roof penetration checks.
Hey, thanks for watching the training video using Interplay's simulation-based training program. You can keep watching our solar videos by clicking on the link to your left, or stay up to date on our latest solar snacks by subscribing on your right. To learn more about how the STP provides critical team training and helps you build an onboarding program at your company, please go to interplaylearning.com.